Hi, I'm Lexi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a get ready with me for a 1920s event that I'm going to. I'm gonna try to do 1920s sort of inspired makeup, or as close as I can get, or as close as I want to get really. I'm not super into accuracy, but yeah, well, let's get started. Starting out, I have already done my face routine. I've got sunscreen on, and I'm gonna start out with a little pore filling primer. So we're just gonna put that on just because my face has, I don't know, not been looking great, but I also have been taking really bad care of myself, like not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep. I've been working really hard at some singing stuff, and it just, you lose a lot of water doing that, and I haven't been replenishing it. So my face, pores, not looking good, but you know, this actually helps a lot. But can I put a second primer on? I'm gonna put a second primer on. I've got this glowy stuff and I wanna put on. I'm gonna put this just on my cheeks though. I don't know if you'd consider it a primer at this point then. I'm just putting it on the cheeks and just to give myself a little bit of glow. I'm not gonna be wearing a super heavy base today, even though I would like to. I'm running late, so I don't have time to do a full face of makeup. I am just going to, who am I kidding? I'm gonna probably do it anyway. Mix up a little bit. I've got some foundation that is too peach for me. And I'm gonna add some green color corrector, and it makes the gray foundation of my dreams. Although I know with this light that I'm probably like really blown out. This is literally just from the window. Pacific Northwest is really great. It's very cloudy, but that means our light is always beautiful and diffuse. We don't get that harsh direct light, although we did recently. Most of the year, we just get that wonderful diffuse light. So I'm gonna just also pop on. Why am I doing this before I do? Oh, big mistake. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm about to do a heavy eyeshadow look, and then I'm like putting on my base first. That's just a recipe for disaster. I'm just gonna get tons of fallout. So I'm gonna stop. I have more concealer I want to put on, but I'm gonna stop right now before I always do this. This is why I had a list when I did my wedding makeup, so I did it in the right order. So for today's look, I feel like I'm already starting out ahead. I already have thin brows because I've just been really into them. Although I think I've plucked them a little too thin. Not for my aesthetic taste, but just for what my eyebrow can handle. My eyebrows are like my hairs are like kind of curved or whatever, and because it's so thin, they've started to like, the line is just wavy with my eyebrow hair. So I've just got these kind of like wavy eyebrows now. I think they need to be a little thicker, and I've also been trimming them kind of shorter to the hair so there's not as much wave to them, but then that means my eyebrows look extra sparse because they are so thin, which means I have to do them every time I go out of the house. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I think I'm gonna grow them like a hair thicker, but I wanted to wait until after this wedding. Like, I wanted to go all out. I kept them probably an extra couple weeks than I wanted to just for the wedding, but whatever. So there's that one picture of Kate Moss that I've always loved with her in 1920s makeup. And I think the key about 1920s makeup is that it kind of goes down like this. Every single time I try to do a halo eye, I end up with like a 1920s look. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna try to do a halo eye, and then I'll end up with a 1920s look, which just means really dark shadow up really high, like way darker or way higher than you would normally take it and way darker than you would normally take it, especially in the front. I think today I'm gonna go with a purple look. I was looking back at some of my old videos, and the one I did about the goth mystery box from Depop, I was trying to do like a halo eye goth look, and I feel like the eye makeup look in that video like looked very 1920s, and I love the purple, and I'm wearing a green dress, so I'm gonna go with that. And I'm at an Airbnb, by the way, if you couldn't tell, and although I love the wood paneling, this place is really cool. I brought my eye makeup, my palette, and I brought a lot of purples and a lot of like these grungy tones that are good with my skin tone for mixing. So I'm just gonna start with eye makeup and start with this really dark purple that I got from the ColourPop It's a Mood palette. And I almost didn't keep that, so I'm really glad I did. What is this? Okay, I know this is how a lot of people build their eye makeup looks. They put in the dark stuff first and then put on the light stuff last, but I usually put the light stuff on first and then just take a little of the dark stuff and blend out the edges. So this feels really opposite to me, but that's okay. And then the lid color, I'm gonna just try to put on with my, oh, that looks really, really purple. I like that. That's looking good, that's looking good. Okay, we're gonna, okay, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I think in person, the blue on the lid pops a little bit more because it has like a little bit of a blue shift to it. It is from the Melt Dark Matter stack, and I got that in like 2014, and I ended up depotting it just because the stacks would just get shoved to the back of the drawer and I never saw them on like my palettes. The act of depotting them ruined about half of them, but it kept the color that I wanted most, which was that big purple. And the fact that 2014, it still works, although now it's got like weird like lumps in it. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's definitely not what it was, but it still works okay. So, Instead of using that same dark purple up here, I want to go a little bit more neutral underneath. So I'm going, just because I don't want the focus of the look to be a smoky under eye, but I do want to tie it in with the rest of the look. But we're just going to use a little bit of neutral shadow. Maybe I'm gonna take that around on the top just a little bit here, just to blend that out a little bit better. It's kind of looking like a black eye, and I'm not against that. I don't think it's like what I set out to make, but I'm not mad where I ended up. There, I really like this look. Now we have to do it again on the other side, the same. That's the hard part, making them the same. So yeah, just putting down with a thicker, denser brush on the edges, and then a light buffing brush to make kind of like the arc over the top. I don't know if I'd recommend this method. My makeup methods are kind of chaotic, similar to my bang cutting methods, but I feel like no one's looking that close. For me, what's important is making sure that there's like a very clear white space between the makeup and the eyebrow, and we're not gonna put highlighter on it. We're just gonna leave that bare. I really wanna like emphasize the shape of my skull, if that makes sense. Oh, I did that thing I always do where I forgot that I have to put on concealer before the eyeshadow on the bottom of my eye. We're gonna do that now and hope it doesn't blend too, and try to be very careful blending so that that purple eyeshadow doesn't mix with my concealer and give me an actual like looking like an actual fake bruise look. I'm just keeping the concealer way down low. There's no point in putting concealer up here in my inner eye just to put purple makeup back over it. So this is probably for the best anyway, that I forgot to put this on earlier. This light is really bright. I feel really blown out. It's just sunlight and not even direct sunlight. This place I'm staying is super pretty. I'm gonna put a picture of it on the screen. It's gorgeous. Okay, so I already have like a little bit of concealer, enough that I would call it like a skin tint. And I'm just gonna put a little bit more the places I like to put it, cover up my hyperpigmentation. This makeup does not make my skin texture necessarily look better, but it does even my skin tone. My nose is looking like hot garbage. When I sing, I have to wear a special mask, and it's foam and it covers the whole bottom. It goes from here all the way around under here. The point being, you can open and close your jaw really well, and it transmits sound beautifully. It traps all that moisture, and I've been spending so much time singing that like I've got like my nose and my chin are like breaking out. It's not a good look. But we're gonna try to cover it up, and we're gonna look a little cakey today, but you know what? At this point, I think I'd rather look cakey than red and mottled. I don't know. We're gonna do our best to cut the cake down. We're gonna do our best. So I'm looking at my inspiration photo, and what blush there is very doll-like. So I like that. I've been into like doll-like blush for quite a while now, and I keep thinking I'm gonna move on, but I just think it really suits my face to have the blush up high and kind of in the front. But we're not gonna do a ton. Well, I say that, but I fucking love blush, so we're probably gonna do a ton. It's not picking up that well on camera, but I do it in person. It is a very blushy look. This is not my only blush I'm gonna use. If you guys know me, you know that I layer a cream blush and then a powder blush on top of that if I'm going for like a full makeup powdered look. If I'm just, you know, my everyday, I will stop with the cream blush, and I don't wear powder or foundation every day. So now I'm setting all this with powder. The powder definitely like doesn't help with fine lines. Like it looks really crinkly, more crinkly there. But my skin's really dehydrated. I just haven't been taking care of it. I haven't been taking care of myself. I was always gonna look like crap today. I'd rather look like powdery makeup-y crap. Let's do eyebrows. That's the most fun thing. I'm using this one that just randomly came in my advent calendar, and it's one of these like, look at this. It's actually perfect. I've got the little end for the tail, and I've got this like powder sponge thing for the front part, so we're gonna give that a go. I just realized there's sunscreen in my hair. You guys, by the way, my wrist is fixed. I still have to wear a brace at night, and if I'm doing like being super active or having to carry stuff, it like gives me extra support, but it's been like 2 months. I haven't been able to wear a bunch of my clothes, surprisingly, because of the cast and the brace. They have to be big enough to fit cast and brace through or on, and I haven't wanted to wear my nice clothes because the brace has Velcro on it and I can catch on fabric and yada yada yada. Eyebrows are done, and if this were a regular day, I think I'd leave it at that, but I think I'm gonna define the tail a little bit stronger just because A, I'm gonna be wearing this makeup for a really long time, but B, we really want to emphasize the thinness and like that whole thing. So we're gonna go really define that. Okay, I think that's good. So I said we'd do some more powder blush, and we are. You know, it's funny, in a lot of ways, our current makeup styles are not very different from 1920s makeup. Currently, it is trendy to accentuate the bow and to have like a really, 1920s did more of like an actual defined Cupid's bow. Right now, we're doing more of just like a straight, but it's like very, like that Bratz doll look where it's like very big in the middle and like coming out thinner at the sides. That's very 1920s, and that's also very now. So I think it's funny how much these makeup trends started 100 years ago, and we're still doing that right now. The popular blush placement is like this, kind of right in the middle, way up high. And that's similar to kind of what I was seeing looking at old pictures of movie stars. We really gotta hurry though. The wedding is in less than an hour, so. And I still have to get dressed and do my hair. Oh my God, what am I doing? Why aren't I already ready? Okay, I've done some lip liner, and I filled it in with lip liner. That always helps me make my lipstick stick. And then we're gonna use this. This is my OG favorite lipstick. It's MAC Instigator. Wearing this lipstick makes me so happy. This was my favorite lipstick of all time, like 2014, 2015. I went through 2 tubes of it, like down to the bottom, and I bought this tube, and then I couldn't find it because it was limited edition, and I guess they brought it back, but technically it's in their lineup, but they don't make it. You can't find it, and I got this on eBay like a year ago, and I haven't really used it because I haven't been into dark lipsticks, but so that is it. We're blotting it. We blotted it. This is very severe. Okay, we gotta hurry. So I'm gonna do my hair. First, I'm gonna put on the outfit. We're gonna do a big reveal for that because I'm excited. And then we'll do our hair as the last step. Here she is. Here's the emerald dress. And I think it's okay, you know? I like it. I think it's really fun. Now these, I was looking all over for, I had an idea of like a mitt, a lace mitt. And then I realized that the like arm socks that I had to wear under my brace were like exactly what I was looking for. And the fact that it's they've been washed and they're threadbare is kind of the look, because I'm supposed to be like a mystic. I don't know, I'm supposed to not be, you know, I'm supposed to be mysterious and put together. Now, if I may show you my underwear and show you what I found to use for my undergarment. I don't know, if you guys have followed me on social media, you might recognize this dress. This is an Old American Apparel dress that is a very deep V. I cut the sleeves off, but that way it's covered here and it shows the front so that this I can wear jewelry. But it was actually a little too small because it was too short. This V was ending too high. So after cutting the sleeves off, I added a piece of fabric in here, and I literally just did that like an hour ago, hand stitched it. This covers it, and this is very secure, and this holds it down pretty tight. I'm not worried about coming out this way. My concern was this way, and this way it's very secure. So this is, and it covers this now too, and it's velvet. It's a similar material. If it kind of shows, it's gonna blend in and work with it. I think it was a perfect solution. So this is the dress, and let me get my jewelry and let's put it on. I had said that I was gonna buy jewelry, right? I had a budget. And then I just realized that like, I didn't want to, you know, I just didn't want to spend the money. Usually if I do something like this, if I'm gonna buy like 1920s themed jewelry, I don't want to waste my money on something cheap. I'm gonna get something real. But the real stuff was out of my budget. It was like $100 or $200. Plus there was so much shady shit. Like sellers selling 1920s jewelry, vintage actually from the 1920s, antique. And then you're seeing they have like 6 of them available, or you look at their reviews and like the last 10 reviews are all from people buying the exact same. You know, it's like, obviously that's fake. And I just kind of went down this whole rabbit hole and I just didn't want to mess with that. So I decided to just use what I already have and make it work. I've got some bangles, this one's like a leopard print. This one is a snake. So we're gonna add this silver one that kind of looks snaky to the same side as the actual snake one that's got like an actual snake head, snake eating its own tail. Oh, and then, yeah, we're gonna put those together and then we're gonna put these 2 bangles together. I think that's good. And so I really wanted a choker, but I couldn't find a choker. I'm gonna add a couple of these too. I couldn't find a choker in my collection that worked. I don't know. I was gonna do this. Kenneth J. Lane, like vintage Kenneth J. Lane was actually like, I think perfect, exactly what I wanted, but those pieces are expensive. But now it's something I wanna save up for. I don't know, I can't decide. Pearls were really big back then, but I think this might be too much. You guys, look at my husband. Look how cute he is. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna do this double pearl on pearl, and then I have this earring, which I think is like very apropos. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't like the clear bangle. Okay, we're just gonna do this. Okay, and I got this chain. So I got this chain and then this earring I'm just gonna put, luckily it's got this type of clasp that closes, so we're just gonna put it right on there, and it's gonna hang down right in my chest, right where we want it to. I think the necklace is a little bit, yeah, so it's gonna hang down right there. This is the jewelry look. We're gonna talk about shoes. So neither one of my shoe choices are really inappropriate. I had another pair that was very 1920s, but I realized they have an actual heel on them, and this is an all outdoor wedding. So these are the closest choices I have. I think these would be more, I guess, a little bit more appropriate for the time period, but I wanna go with these. Just, it ties in the bangle, it ties in this whole like Eastern mysticism thing that they had going on in the 1920s. So I'm gonna wear these. Okay, so now we've got these on. I think it's good enough. I think we're almost ready to go. Almost ready to go. Now we have to do the hair. And that's like the most nerve-wracking thing. So let's, I'm gonna like get back down on the ground and we're gonna do the hair. Okay, we're doing really well on time. I have about 20 minutes to mess with my hair. I've got the turban and I've kind of been stressing out about how to wear it in my hair. It's a little bit funny shaped, but so there's 2 different ways to wear it. What I've seen a lot is like this. I think I was looking at those Julia Clancy turbans and they're worn a lot like this. This is a very 1940s way to wear it. And so this is what I was gonna do. I was gonna pin up some of my hair, have some of it straggling, hanging down. That's all well and good. But then looking more at pictures from 1920s, I think I want to wear it more like this, but then there's all this extra fabric. So I am going to have to pin that and then wear it more like this with my bangs poking out, right? And then we're gonna take care of this in a second, but I'm gonna adjust this first. We're gonna pin it like that. So in the back. So it's just kind of tucking it under and pinning it like that. So in the 1920s, so now we're doing hair. We've got the turban pinned. In the 1920s, the style was short hair, but a lot of women didn't necessarily cut their hair. It wasn't a thing that every woman wanted to do, but what a lot of people did was they faked it. I mean, it wasn't like that fake, but they would put it in a low bun like this and just have some pieces. So that's what we are gonna do. We're just gonna very sloppily pin it because I want a disheveled look. And we're gonna leave some straggly long pieces hanging out. Like some curls, yes, like that. because we want the turban, we want this hair tucked up under the turban mostly, but not all the way. I'm doing this very quickly because I have to leave, and I know that like I think I need to fix my lipstick before we go, and it's working okay for me looks wise right now, but this has to last like, you know, 10 hours. I don't know, how late does the wedding go? Like 10 p.m. It's gotta last 9 hours. Okay, so we're gonna try to put this on. Oh, I almost forgot my earrings, guys. Okay, these are the earrings from my wedding. I think the earrings were the hardest thing for me to not buy like a 1920s version of, but it's stars and moons, so that was very apropos of the sort of mystic look. And I'm really glad that I was able to make this look work with accessories that I already owned. Okay, maybe I want this side. Okay, I want it to be back here. Maybe I just do that. Well, how are we doing this? I want the earring to show. Okay, I want this long piece, but this long piece can go back there. It can't look too intentional, but at the same time, actually unintentional, and just letting it do whatever it wants would be too. Okay, I think, yeah, we do have a curl that hangs down back there. So we're gonna try to put this on now, and then I'll show you. This is like a very accessorized look, but I'm okay with that. Gosh, you guys, I love this. I love this. This is perfect. I'm so happy with this look. Okay, I do have accessories for the turban, and you know, I was looking at big jeweled brooches and I thought that would be too much, and especially with the way this is twisted, I thought it would look good if I just had something that like made it look like it was a pin holding it in place and not just like sewn to be like that. So I want to do this. I also have this, which is my cat's toy. I stole it from them for the weekend. They were very nice to lend it to me. I bought it in the pet store. It's all like messed up, but I'm gonna cut the end off, I think. I don't want it to stick up like that, but I was thinking about having it just sort of pinned, like cutting it off and pinning it like that. Let's put this pin in first. I was thinking of doing like cutting the end of it so it's like just back along my, is it too much?
As opposed to what?
Just this.
Oh no, definitely do the peacock feather.
I'm gonna cut it off. You guys, look how cute he is. Brian, bend down and show me your straw hat. It's a vintage straw hat.
Miladies.
This isn't staying. What about, okay, so we've got different lengths. We can do, I wanted to like stay along my hat. Okay, I had to go to an actual mirror to do it, and looking in the mirror, I realized I never did mascara. Like, what? See, this is why I need a list. I need like a checklist every time. I can't find my black eyeliner. Did I bring black eyeshadow? No, I did not, of course. But we're gonna take the darkest color I have, which is again this really dark plum, and we're just gonna smudge that at the eyes. I can't believe I didn't bring my eye kohl. And yeah, I'm getting tons of fallout. Shit. Not good. We're gonna use tape. And it's removing the rest of my makeup too, of course. We're gonna try a brush. That worked, but now I need to reapply some of my powder blush. Okay, we've got our eyeliner and mascara, and now the very last thing is my purse that I'm gonna take. It's not perfect like 1920s, but it's got a chain, and it's sort of, they used a lot of purses that had this part. Generally their purses were narrower and longer, but this is good enough. So I gotta get real fast here. We're gonna take our lipstick, our mascara, because I'm gonna cry and I wanna put more on in the car. We're gonna take the lipstick. We're gonna take the lipstick and the lip liner because right now it looks terrible, and I'm gonna touch it up in the car. And I'm gonna take my blush to touch back up, and we're gonna bring this tiny little thing with eyeshadow. Unfortunately, the big purple one doesn't fit, but I think what I'm gonna want anyway the most is the smoky touch-up colors, and we're gonna bring a tiny little, or brush that came from Urban Decay with us. Actually, you know what we're gonna do instead? We're gonna bring this. This is perfect for travel. I also got it in my advent calendar. My Yes Out advent calendar. It's got this side for the blush, and this other side has the eyeshadow brushes, and I actually use this all the time. I'm telling you, man, those Yes Out advent calendars, they make everything pretty universal. So I've used almost everything that came in it. We've got the phone, and I think that's it. I think I'm ready to go. I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Anyway, thanks so much for sticking through this video, this 1920s style, kind of 1920s mystic get ready with me, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you. Bye.